Asante Sana Warden. As we say at Harambe, Twin Day, which means let's go. Well, jumbo, everybody. My name is Andy. I'm going to be your safari guide today through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Before we get started, just a few quick safety reminders. Please remain seated at all times, and please keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the trunk. If you have any little ones, they can be seated on your lap or on the seat next to you. Just make sure they remain seated for the entirety of our safari. Roads are going to get pretty bumpy out there. We don't want anyone to stand up inside the truck. Go take a look above you. There's an animal spotting guide. Those are all the animals that live on the reserve. We're not guaranteed to see every single animal on that list today, but there's a good chance to see many of them while we're out on safari. Our safari begins in the Little Aturi Forest. Animals that live in the forest are highly camouflaged to help protect themselves. We're going to look among the trees and the brush to find these animals. Now, way up to the right-hand side at the top of the hill, dark brown animal. She's got a white face and striped legs. That's an Kopi. And coming up on the left, this tan antelope with thin white stripes. This is a greater kudu. You can tell this is a female. You can tell because she doesn't have any horns. Now, back over to the Kopi. Because of those striped legs, many people think the Okapi is related to the zebra, but that's the only living relative to the giraffe. They have a tongue long enough they can reach out and lick both of their eyes, and that's also how they pick their nose. Another greater kudu coming up on the right-hand side. She's just behind the tree there. Really good view of that Kopi up on the hill. Now, as we continue through the forest, we're coming up on a watering hole. Watering holes are a pretty good gathering place for animals, and I spy a black rhinoceros. Let's go a little bit closer. Black rhino is one of 2 rhino species that live here on the reserve, so we might spot some more rhinos a bit later on when we reach the Savanna. But this rhino is coming up on our left-hand side. He's up on the ridge.
Oh, there he is.
Black rhino weighs about 3,000 pounds, but can still run close to 30 miles an hour. Like another greater kudu coming up on the right. Now, the greater kudu is one of the taller species of antelope we find on the reserve. They stand about 55 inches tall at the shoulders, but then can jump close to 6 feet straight into the air. I'm not spying much more here in the forest. That's okay. We're gonna head down to my favorite part of the reserve, and that's the Saki River. And the Saki River is gonna be a great place to look for aquatic animals and many other animals like to hang around the water. Coming up on the right-hand side, this will be the basin of the river. The river itself is a bit further on the left, so both sides of the truck are going to get great views of the water. Coming up on the right-hand side, you'll see some big white birds. These are pink-backed pelicans. They get their name because during mating season, they'll develop a pink back to attract a mate. And if they have an egg together, both the male and female will take turns sitting on the nest. And to our left, a bloat of Nile hippopotamus. Now, hippos are going to spend a majority of the day in the water, but they don't do a lot of swimming. They'll sink themselves down to the bottom of the river so they can walk or run along the bottom. Now, hippos can hold their breath close to 8 minutes at a time, so they can sleep underwater. They'll hold their breath and float to the top, take another breath, and then resubmerge, all without waking up. It's just one of their natural instincts. Now we're about to cross the bridge, and as we cross, you want to look over to the left-hand side. If you want to look over some of my favorite animals, you're looking for Nile crocodiles.
Oh, I see it. Giant.
ferocious reputation because of that water's edge hunting strategy, but crocodiles can be very gentle, especially when it comes to their eggs. They'll take eggs from their nest and roll them around their jaw to help them hatch. Alrighty, coming up on the right-hand side, this is a baobab tree. It gets the nickname the Tree of Life because it can hold thousands of gallons of water in its trunk. It comes in handy during times of drought. Elephants will use their tusks to pierce the bark of the tree, and that's how they'll receive water. But speaking of trees, they are beginning to thin out, so we are changing ecosystems. We're going to head down to the Savanna. The Savanna is home to some of the more popular animals on the reserve. We're going to make a big loop. So if you see the animals off in the distance, there's a good chance we'll get a bit closer very shortly. Alrighty, I see a few Maasai giraffe this morning. Just off to our right-hand side, you'll see a herd of wildebeest. The wildebeest have the largest migration herds in the animal kingdom. The largest herd recorded is over 2.8 million individual wildebeest. And during the Great Migration, a big group like that will move together all the way across the savanna. Take a look at this. Coming up on our left-hand side, a sable antelope. Now, most animals know fight or flight, but the sable antelope only knows fight, so those horns come in handy. They've been known to stand up to any predator they come in contact with, including African lions. There's a few of them up on the hill, too. Coming up on our left-hand side, looks like they're all gathered inside the den. They're brown, black, and white and speckled. These are African painted dogs. We'll pull up a little closer. Now, the painted dogs are the most successful hunters on the savanna. They'll work together as a pack and run down their prey until the prey just gives up from exhaustion. Now, the name painted dog comes from their coats. Looks like they were painted with all the different colors. We're going to pause here just for a bit. Here on the reserve, animals do have the right-of-way. I think we're caught up in a little bit of a giraffic jam. I think we're going to get back on the move here. We're going to try and get a little bit closer to those giraffes. I see some springbok as well. I can see a springbok up ahead. They are the smallest species of antelope you find here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Despite being small, they've a really cool defense mechanism called pronking. When they go pronking, they'll jump 6 feet in the air and 13 feet in front of themselves. So their defense mechanism is running and jumping away from danger. Because of that reputation for being so quick and nimble, they're often used as mascots for African football teams. Now the Maasai giraffe, 18 to 20 feet tall. That's the longest neck in the animal kingdom. Surprisingly, a giraffe's neck is only made up of 7 vertebrae. That is just like a human neck. The giraffe's vertebrae are just a bit bigger and more spread out than ours. And giraffes are going to spend a majority of the day on all 4 legs. Takes a lot of time and a lot of energy for an animal that size to get up and off the ground. So they eat standing up and they sleep standing up. But a giraffe only sleeps about 30 minutes a day. And that 30 minutes is broken up into little 5-minute standing naps. Some Hartmann's mountain zebras up ahead. I can see some more springbok up on the hill. Now, just like human fingerprints, no 2 zebra stripes are exactly alike, but families can always identify each other. Of course, mothers can always identify their young. The official name for a group of zebras is a dazzle. That's because when they all stand together, the stripes blend in, a predator can't tell one zebra apart from another, so those stripes will help dazzle the predator. I see another giraffe, some springbok. I even see some elands up on the hill. So you can see those Hartmann's mountain zebras off to the right. See some more springbok up on the hill and another giraffe. Now the elands are way off to the right up on the hill. The elands are the largest species of antelope to find in the reserve. The one on the right, that is a female, left that's a male. That male eland weighs about 2,000 pounds. Alrighty, we're going to head off the Savanna just for a bit. We're going to follow this trail. It's going to lead us down to the Savanna watering hole. Let's go see what we can find. And look at those elands before we head down the trail. Coming up on our right, African elephant. Now we know that's an African elephant for two reasons. Number one, well, we are in Africa. Number two, by the shape of the ears. African elephants' ears are shaped like the continent of Africa, like you'd see on a map. Those ears come in handy just by flapping them. The elephant can lower its body temperature by 15 degrees. It gets pretty warm on the reserve, so this tool is so important for these animals. We're gonna head down the trail. Like I said, we'll end up at the Savanna watering hole, so let's go see what else we can do. You can already see it off to the right-hand side. Soon it'll be on either side of the truck. These are the red clay pits. Very important to elephants. Let me see if I can find an example here for you. Take a look off to the right. You can see some tusk marks. Elephants are going to loosen the clay so they can eat it. That red clay contains all the extra nutrients these animals need. You can think of it like the ultimate elephant multivitamin. Coming up on either side of the truck, you'll spot a few more baobab trees. Now for this angle, you get a much better idea of why they're sometimes called upside down trees. Their branches go in a pattern very similar to tree roots. It gives the illusion the tree is growing upside down. Now that illusion is furthered by the fact the baobab tree is leafless 9 months out of the year. It's all part of the tree's water collection system. Without leaves, the baobab tree can soak in that water directly through the bark and store it in its trunk. Might catch another glimpse of those springbok off to the right. Coming up on the island, crater flamingos, the largest of the flamingo species. Now, flamingos get their pink color from their diets. They eat a lot of shrimp and crustaceans. It takes about 2 years for a flamingo to truly develop that pink color. rhinoceros. Remember that black rhino we saw back in the forest? These rhinos are a bit bigger. Black rhino weighs in around 3,000 pounds. White rhinos are closer to 6,000 pounds. And the original name for this species was not the white rhino, it was the white rhino. Vite's an Afrikaans word, it means wide. Name referred to the animal's wide mouth. Over the years, the name was mistranslated one too many times. Common name just became the white rhino. Beautiful look at those white rhinos this morning. Keep your eyes put off to the left up on the hills. Cheetah. Fastest animal on all four legs, but they only hold that top speed for a few seconds. Definitely a sprinter versus a marathoner. Not like other African cats, cheetahs hunt during the day. That's because their eyesight is much better built for daylight. Plus, when you hunt during the day, there's less competition from other predators. Now we've arrived at the Kopi Rocks, and Kopi Rocks are often popular with lions. And I do see a female African lion. She's up on the Kopi, not the tallest rock, the one just next to it. We're gonna make a loop around the Kopi. See if we can get a better view. When it comes to lions, females are the hunters, and males are gonna stay behind to look after the cubs. But if there are no cubs present in the pride, the male can join the females with hunting. Normally what happens is the females will go out first, and the males stay a bit further back to provide any backup that's needed. See this male lion at the front of the Kopi. There's actually two females. The one we saw earlier, there's a second one of the Sable Rocks. That second female is going to be up on the highest rock. She's just below the peak. We're going to see an ostrich up ahead. The ostrich is the fastest bird on two legs. They run about 40 miles an hour. They don't use their wings for flying. They use them to help change direction when they run. Kind of acts like a rudder system. And this is a female ostrich. You can tell by the color of her feathers. She must have that gray-brown color. She's acting a bit territorial, and you can see why off to the right. Look, there's a nest. Ostrich lays the biggest eggs in the animal kingdom. Takes about 2 dozen chicken eggs to equal 1 ostrich egg. Looks like part of the research team is going to try and help us out a little bit here. just crossed into Magadi Glen. It's home aboard in Wilson Matua's outpost. And here at the outpost, you'll find Nigerian dwarf goats. Wharton has these goats because he wants to promote coexistence, humans and animals living together and learning from one another. Here at the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, we work very closely with the Disney Conservation Fund. If you'd like to help make a difference, you can donate to the Conservation Fund at any merchandise location. Disney will match your donation dollar for dollar. You also get a Conservation Hero button when you make a donation. My friends, our safari is coming to an end. I'll have you back at the village in just a few moments. Now, if you'd like to see some more animals, I highly recommend the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. This trail takes about 15 to 20 minutes to complete, but it is self-guided, so feel free to take as long as you like. On the trail, you get to see gorillas, meerkats, naked mole rats. There's underwater hippo viewing and a bird aviary. And all strollers and mobility devices are welcome on the trail. My friends, here at Harambe, we do not like to say goodbye. It's much too sad, far too final. So instead, I'm going to leave you with the Swahili phrase, Kwaherini, which means go well. So Kwaherini, everybody, we're going to be unloading just up ahead. Make sure you gather all your personal belongings. You don't want to leave anything. It's a long walk back to Africa. Once again, my name is Andy. It's been a pleasure to be your safari guide today. Any wilderness explorers on board the truck, you've been aboard the Simba 1. That is S-I-M-B-A, the number 1. Thank you so much. Alrighty, on the right-hand side, watch those hands, arms, feet, and legs. Doors will be sliding open. Watch your step as you exit the safari vehicle. Clock ring, everybody. Go well. Go well.